Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mitchell back here on my YouTube channel. It's good to see you guys again. Hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and wishes to a great New Year for everybody. I was in Florida from December 23rd through 26th, so that's why last week for sure I did not have a video. And then the week before I worked a lot of hours prior to my vacation there. So it has been since the December 6th week where I posted the video, so it's good to see it, good to do it again. So this is one of the biggest weeks in the NFL, week 17. So I have a lot to cover today. So lastly, I would appreciate if you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. So I would love to keep the hits going, and that's a big New Year's goal as we approach this new year. So. Yep, so Sunday, our first game at noon is Jacksonville, who's probably going to get Trevor Lawrence as their first pick. We'll get a couple upset wins later. So Jacksonville will play Indianapolis. I think Jacksonville is going to take the spread because I think Indianapolis, after blowing a 24-7 lead against the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday, I don't think they're gonna win by that much against Jacksonville. They honestly really struggled defensively, and Indianapolis will win, but it'll be far closer than expected than the DraftKings lines have. So, yep, next we have Pittsburgh. Speaking of which, who came back and prevailed and beat the Colts, and they're gonna play Cleveland. This is one of the biggest games of the day. I'm honestly surprised this game didn't get moved to 3:25. Instead, it's the Rams and Cardinals. But in the meantime, this is going to be probably the second biggest CBS game of the week. I'm gonna take the Steelers, but they're only going to win by a field goal because the Browns are fighting to get into the playoffs desperately. Last week they cannot believe they lost. So it was just unreal that they still lost and they still didn't clinch their berth yet, especially that they did against the Jets. That's just unreal. That's how the NFL's been going. The Jets won 2 in a row, so. Yep, we'll have to see, but the Steelers, I think, will take that one there. Next, we had the Washington football team, the Sunday night game against the Eagles. This is the biggest one regarding the NFC East, because if Washington wins, they're in no matter what. It does not matter for Philadelphia because they were eliminated after losing to the Dallas Cowboys Sunday. So it does not matter for them, but they have the Eagles as favorites, I think, because they are at home, and if Alex Smith doesn't play, I think that's going to continue to be the Eagles to win that spread, especially prime time. They want to maybe end the season with a win. But I'm going to take Washington, especially if they have Alex Smith as a quarterback. I'm going to take them to win this one. Next, speaking of Dallas, we have Dallas at New York. It's going to be at the Giants. If Washington and the Cowboys lose, obviously the Giants get into the playoffs with a win, and Washington has to lose first because Washington's wins, they're in no matter what, literally. And I'm gonna take the Giants here. The Cowboys blew out the Eagles last week, but the Eagles hung in there in the beginning. So honestly, I think the Giants are gonna have way more momentum than them, and they came a long way even without Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. The fact that even with 10 losses they could get into the playoffs is really something. That's how the NFL season has been. So excuse me, I'm gonna take the Giants there. Next, the Falcons are at the Buccaneers, Tom Brady and company. The Falcons missed a chip shot field goal to tie it against Kansas City Sunday. It could be close, but I think Tampa Bay is going to win by 10. I don't think the Falcons are going to want to be consistent because they're probably going to get a top 10 pick with being 4-10 this year. That's very unreal that they are 4-10. A lot of their games were close, but Tampa Bay thinks is going to win by 10. They're favored by 6. Next, we have Baltimore against Red Hot Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh, and then they also won on Sunday. So I cannot believe they won 2 in a row. And they beat the Texans. They beat Texans, one of their rivals, on Sunday afternoon as well. So that definitely was something that they did prevail to beat 2 decent teams, and the Texans have been playing well at the end. So that was honestly an upset that they did pull that one out. And the game was in Houston, so. Yep, without the Joe Burrow show, they got a few big wins, but I don't think they're gonna have enough to knock off the Ravens, as the Ravens are second or third in the hunt to get into this year's playoffs. So I think the Ravens are gonna get it done, but they're not gonna win by 11. I think they're gonna win by a touchdown here, and it's 11.5 spread. Next, we have New Orleans at Carolina. I'm gonna take Drew Brees and the Saints to win this one. If the Saints win and the Bears beat the Packers, the Saints are back to a number 1 seed. So I think they're definitely gonna get it done against Carolina, who's who's been playing very well at the end, and they could have beat Green Bay. They could have beat Green Bay that one Saturday game. They beat Washington to keep Washington from clinching the playoff spot like right away. So they could keep this one, but I think the Saints are going to have far more enough to prevail this one. Next, we have Seattle at San Francisco. If the Packers lose and the Saints lose, this game's really what matters the most. So if the 49ers beat them and the Saints lose too, we still get home field no matter what the result is of the game. So I think the 49ers are going to pull out the upset. Russell Wilson and company are very much struggling. They lost to the New York Football Giants. They've been in a lot of close type of games, and the Rams could have still beat them if they played better offensively someday in a really and honestly boring one. And Jared Goff went down in that one. We'll get into that in a bit. But the Rams played better offensively. They would beat Seattle on the road. So I'm gonna take San Francisco because they're due for another statement win after beating wildcard hopeful Arizona Saturday night. Next, we have for the last time of the season since they lost on Saturday and they're eliminated from the playoffs, the Raiders at the Broncos. I'm gonna take the Broncos because I think they're good at the end, good enough at the end of the year to pull out at least one more win of the season. And Las Vegas having such a big loss Saturday, and it's just I cannot believe how far in the end that it came to. And Ryan Fitzpatrick was in over Tua, and he made one of the most all-time plays of the season, all-time in general, but one of the most game-winning clutch plays of the season. And the Dolphins could clinch a playoff spot this week with a win, and that's for them to do it there is unreal. And I think the Broncos are gonna have Las Vegas end the season with another loss. So Packers at Bears. We are back to the Packer game. I think the Bears, since they're one game away from the playoffs, this could be honestly very tough at Soldier Field. There's no fans, but the Bears are very much looking good as ever. Once Nick Foles left, then Mitch Trubisky started to get hot again, and honestly, I think he could be their quarterback in the future if Foles continues to slip. But I'm going to take the Packers to win by a field goal because this is the rematch of the December 29, 2013 game. I played it this morning when Aaron Rodgers to Randall Cobb happened. Just very incredible memories. That was McCarthy's probably last fun season, honestly, when they pulled that one out. And it could happen to be that close again, but those are the memories there. And this is the first time in Week 17 they've met at Soldier Field that the same closing regular season weekend. So the Packers will definitely win. It'll be close, but I think they'll win this one. So Packers by 3 there, 5.5 spread. Next, we had the Tennessee Titans at Texans. The Texans lost to the Bengals, so I don't see it being any closer. The Titans, after getting blown out to Green Bay by a 40-16, 40-14, or whatever it was Sunday, I think they're going to have enough to pulled out, and I think they're very frustrated that the Packers stopped Derrick Henry a ton. I was very, very impressed as a fan that they did in case if both teams battle in the Super Bowl. I'm very impressed that they really shut him down. I don't think the Texans are going to shut him down enough. So Titans by 10 in this one. Next we had the 2-game winning streak. New York Jets playing the Patriots. The Patriots got blown out bad to Buffalo. I couldn't watch after the third quarter last night for how boring it was offensively. They seriously need to flex some of these Monday night games, especially for teams that don't make the playoffs anymore. And the Patriots are one of those. Bills are red hot as ever, so they're obviously gonna rebound after the Jets upset the Browns. I think the Patriots will rebound. They'll only win by 6, but the Patriots will get this one done. Next we have Minnesota at Detroit. It's a non-playoff matchup, so I'm not gonna say the point spread. There's no point spread on it yet, but I'm gonna take the Vikings just because the Lions are very inconsistent. They got killed a ton by Tampa Bay on Saturday. Next, we have the Dolphins at Bills. This seems like the third biggest CBS game of the week. That's where Kevin Harlan and Trent Green are going. Is this one due to the flex agreement with the Cardinal Ram game, which I said that earlier. But anyway, focusing on this one. With Ryan Fitzmagic performing that game-winning play against the Raiders on Saturday, I think they're gonna very much stay close with it. But Josh Allen and the Bills, they're very much desperate to making a very, very, very good playoff game and potentially having a big wild card matchup at home. This is gonna be this is going to be very much winner lose type of situation there, and Buffalo's going to have it. And Josh Allen's the third best quarterback in the league, and he's going to continue to be this one. Next, we got the Chargers, who are obviously out of the playoffs, but they've won 3 in a row with rookie sensation Justin Herbert at Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. The Chargers I like the way how they fight and stay in the games. So I think the Chiefs are only gonna win by 7 because Herbert has had a good season, and they're very much gonna have a good future with very much potential in the draft to maybe get that one good linebacker or one offensive performer when draft time comes for them. Next, we have the Cardinals at Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams because the Rams could have beat the Seahawks, as I mentioned, but these are two different quarterbacks that are gonna be in the game. Jared Goff went down for the Rams, and so did Kyler Murray. So did Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm not gonna say the spread, but I think for the Rams, since it's in Los Angeles and the Cardinals are struggling a lot more than the Rams are gonna win, and they're gonna clinch a playoff berth in this one. So hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and week, and a Happy New Year once again. See you all on my next video.